Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. It's actually 5 a.m. in the morning here in my country, so good evening to you there as
I
well.
figured that out. Wow, you're an early bird.
Yes, because I have a lot to do as well.
Yes,
Of course, there's a lot of pageants happening right now, so we really have to follow a lot. And
yes.
how are you today?
I'm doing amazing. How are you?
I'm good. So let's all begin with you having a short introduction about yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Naomi Colford. I'm 19 years old and I'm Miss World Canada 2019. I was born and raised on the island of Cape Breton. It's a small island, but I had a very busy childhood. I danced, sang, did community theater. I was involved with student council, soccer, figure skating, you name it, I did it. And then after
Wow.
graduating high school, yes, I was very busy. I got super involved in my community because I had the time after I stopped dancing. And I'm enrolled in nursing and I'm currently teaching dance.
Very good. And what's your educational background as of the moment? Well, it's nursing, as what you have mentioned. And of all the pageants, why did you decide to join Miss World Canada? And why Miss World?
Well, I graduated high school with highest honors, and then through my volunteer work, I figured out how much I love to care for people and help people. And also through volunteer work and teaching dance, I figured out my love for children. So I combined my two loves, and that's how I chose nursing. And I hope to be a pediatric nurse one day. And I chose Miss World Canada and Miss World because after stopping dancing, I'm a person, I always like to have something to do and something to focus on and to challenge myself. So I really wanted to challenge myself and try something new. And I loved that with pageants, you can help people and reach a larger audience and get to talk about things that you're passionate about and that you want to change. And being introduced to Beauty with a Purpose at Miss World Canada, I absolutely love the idea of it and that I could create my own project.
Exactly. So that's really good to hear, and especially that Miss World is one of the pageants that is really focusing on charity works, and they've
Yes.
been doing it a lot. Especially that, as what you mentioned, Beauty with a Purpose is really the main essence of the Miss World organization. And talking about Beauty with a Purpose, how do you define Beauty with a Purpose?
Well, I think that all the contestants going are obviously super beautiful on the outside. But I think with beauty with a purpose, it's the internal beauty. And through pageants, it gives people the opportunity to really send out a message and start a movement and use their voice to create change. So I think beauty with a purpose is using your internal beauty and your voice to express something that you're extremely passionate about and to start a change.
Well, that's very good. And speaking about Beauty with a Purpose, of course, one of the major events here in Miss World, and what really helps a delegate qualify is if they are performing well in their Beauty with a Purpose entry. And we have seen some amazing, amazing entries in the past. And speaking about Beauty with a Purpose entry, could you please give us a little bit of a hint of what's your
Yes.
Beauty with a Purpose entry?
Definitely. So through my volunteer work, one of the places that I volunteer is at a school elementary. And what I do is I go and I volunteer for the school breakfast program with my mom every Thursday morning. And my eyes were opened really to poverty in my area through that. There was this little boy that would come every morning, and despite his tiny size, he would seem like he was starving. He'd eat large amounts, and I was kind of shocked by how much he was eating. So after talking to a man that worked at the school, I came to realize that all this little boy was packed for his entire day at school was 2 slices of bread. So it really took me back and opened up my eyes to what's happening in my country. Because when you think about Canada, we are a pretty well off country, and I'm extremely grateful for what we do have here. But poverty is an issue. So I wanted to bring attention to it and help address it because in my community alone, the poverty rate is 1 in 3 children. And with those children, their parents are also living in poverty as well. So it really hit home, and I wanted to help make a difference. So that's how I created my project. And my project I call Grow and Learn. So I go to elementary schools and daycares, and I teach children at the start a little bit about nutrition and how to fuel their body right. And then we do a little bit of gardening and we plant a vegetable. And this teaches the children how to garden, which is a very economical way to produce your own food, and no chemicals are used, so it's very healthy.
Thank you so much for sharing all of those information. It's really good to hear that because this is one thing that we really do not know as followers of the pageant. So I'm very
Yes,
glad that we are getting this kind of information from you directly. So I'm really
yes.
happy for this
Thank
talk
you. A lot of
because
people don't expect it in Canada, but we're actually the only G7 country without a lunch program at schools. So it is a big issue.
I know. So thank you very much for sharing all of those and just keep up the good work and hopefully it will bring something good for you as well in return, especially for your Beauty with a Purpose.
Thank you.
And but aside from Beauty with a Purpose, there are also other events in Miss World that really requires you to excel too, especially if you're really aiming for that great high placement. So these are top model, multimedia, talent, sports. So how do you prepare in these different kind of events in Miss World?
So for talent, I have 16 years of dance training. So I'll be competing a dance solo for that. And then multimedia, I actually worked the whole summer at a radio station and I covered all their social medias. So I gained a lot of great skills that way from that experience. And as well, I've been reaching out to people like you, trying to get the exposure that I need to help my multimedia score. And I've done radio interviews and really used my own social medias to help get my friends and family to support me. And then for the top model, I have modeling experience in the past, and I just recently walked in Atlantic Fashion Week this year for multiple designers. And for fitness, I heard word on the street is that it could possibly involve some swimming and running and long jumps. So I've been working on those as well as working out. And I'm trying to be very versatile and do the best that I can in every component.
Yes, that's really good to hear because, as what I have mentioned before, there are really some contestants who are only focusing on one areas. But in order for you to really deliver and excel well in Miss World, at least you have a special participation in almost all of the events. I'm really glad that you are
Yeah,
preparing in almost all events of Miss World. So thank you so much for sharing that as well. And you are currently studying nursing, as what you mentioned. And
I
looking back
am.
at the track records of Miss World, many not only ladies who are placing, but also winners who are in the field of medicine. For example, Miss World 2014, Rolene Strauss is a doctor. Miss World 2017, India is also a doctor. So do you consider it as an advantage because you're already in the field of medicine?
Well, I think that it's an advantage that most people that would go in to study medicine would have the characteristics that they're compassionate and caring. So that definitely goes with qualities that a Miss World should have. But I don't think that anyone's at a disadvantage if they're not studying that field, because you can still have those characteristics, but it tends to align with if you're in that field that you would have those qualities.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much for that. And Canada has never won Miss World yet. So what does it mean to you to become Canada's first Miss World?
Well, the funny thing about that is when I was going to Miss World Canada, Canada is separated by provinces and territories. In my province of Nova Scotia, I did my research and nobody had ever won from Nova Scotia
Yes,
that title.
I saw that
So,
too.
yes. So it kind of inspired me and set a little extra flame in me that I was like, I want to bring that title to Nova Scotia. So when I went and I accomplished that, I was so proud of myself. And if I were to win Miss World, I'd be so happy to have the chance to bring that to Canada, because I know that many Canadians would be very excited to see a winner from Canada. So hopefully the crown will end up there someday.
Thank you. And thank you for sharing that because when I was researching about you as well, I have noticed as well that you were really the first winner from Nova
Yes.
Scotia. So it's really amazing. So that's really a huge, huge step. Mate, who knows? You could be the first Miss World from Canada as well.
Yes, I'd love for Canada to someday get us.
Exactly. And well, it could happen this year.
Yeah, you never know. I'm
Yes,
working
exactly.
hard. I'm going to try my best
Yes.
and see where it all lands.
Yes. And Of course, let me just ask you one thing, which is really connected to Miss World. Why do you
I
think you should be the next Miss World?
I think that I should be the next Miss World because I'm an extremely hard worker and I want to be able to help many causes all around the world. I would love that opportunity. And also, I believe that I'm a great communicator and I have great communication skills. And I believe that that is a quality that a Miss World should have. And also, I believe that I'm a genuine person and I would just really love to help the world.
Thank you so much for that. And yes, communication is really important
It
because aside from the
is.
events that we have mentioned, there's also one event which is a head-to-head challenge, which is mostly about interviews and your public speaking skills, which will really give advantage to those candidates who are really good in public speaking.
Yes.
So
I
it
think
could be
it's
an
very
advantage to you as
important.
well.
Yeah,
Very good,
because you have
yes.
to be able to reach a wide variety of people and many people. So to be able to communicate well, it's a great quality.
Exactly. And this is one thing that I love about Miss World. The head-to-head challenge gives every country an opportunity because there are really countries who doesn't really excel well in pageants, but with the head-to-head challenge, once they are smart and be able to express themselves, they are really assuring themselves of getting a placement. So that's one thing that I really love
Yes,
about the
I
head-to-head
love that.
challenge of Miss World. Yes,
Yes,
everyone has an opportunity to do well and get a placement.
it's amazing. You can
And
really show who you are.
exactly.
Yes.
And finally, your message to those people who will be supporting you in your Miss World 2019 journey.
Well, I would like to thank everyone from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate all your love and support.
Thank you very much for that. So I am very, very thankful for this opportunity that you have given me. As what I've said, I'm very, very thankful because I have learned a lot today that we did not. I mean, I received a lot of information from you that we cannot see online. So this is a great way for us to know more about you. So I'm really thankful for
Well,
this.
I'm really thankful for you allowing me this opportunity to come on. I'm a huge fan of your page and I love what you
Oh
do
my
and I
gosh.
think you're amazing. So thank you so much.
You're very welcome, and thank you as well. So, hoping to see you do well in Miss World, and I'm just hoping that you could bring something good for Canada this year.
Well, thank you. I'm hoping that too.
Very good. So, talk to you soon. So I wish you all the best for Miss World. Thank you very much. Bye. So that's it. That was my interview with Miss World 2019 from Canada, Naomi Colford. So we'll be expecting a lot of interviews as well in the next weeks to come. So I'm really hoping that, of course, this is one way for us to know more about the contestants, and it's really an amazing opportunity for all of us. And aside from that, Miss Universe has already announced their date as well, which is December 8th, which is going to be kind of a stressful moment for me since we have December 6th, Miss Supranational, December 8th, Miss Universe, and December 14th, Miss World. So there's going to be a lot of pageants happening in 1 month. So thank you very much, and there's going to be a lot of new videos that will be uploaded later today. So thank you very much for following, and have a wonderful day from the Philippines.